Hi, my name is Ryoga. I have a company called Hachimitsu, make chocolates sweetened with raw honey. And I just want this to be a documentation of what I'm doing currently. Um, it's just a way to look back, say, okay, this is me at 22, casually starting an international chocolate company. But yeah, we'll go with that. So just kind of want to share what I'm doing, what I've done, what plans are for this year. I think most of this starts back from last year when I started making my own chocolate with raw honey. I like chocolate, it was a hobby of mine, but I have some things that I follow, cutting out refined sugars, etc. So I wanted a way to be able to enjoy chocolate without the refined sugars. Couldn't really find anything in stores, so ended up making my own. Expanded from that to, friends, family, farmers market, more people enjoying it. The demand got great enough to where I was like, this is something I can roll with. See other companies trying to do something like this, and it's working out pretty well for them. So I think we could give this a shot and maybe try to improve on that process. Yeah, so we kind of fast forward to sourcing the cacao. Most of last year was just spent learning to make chocolate, learned to make it good and at scale too. And it kind of expanded from there. Met a friend of a friend, it's a family of a friend, has a cacao business down in Ecuador. I went down in February to meet this guy. He's about my age, just to be able to talk about, hey, sourcing cacao, going out, visiting the farm, watching his process, how he does manufacturing, uh, negotiating prices, volumes, that kind of stuff. And, it ended up working out pretty well. It was a pretty productive trip down there. And yeah, I was pretty happy with the result. So as a result, I decided to go with this guy. He's going to be my co-manufacturer for producing our chocolates. So I make the recipes, and then I source the cacao from him, and then he takes the beans and turns them into chocolate bars for me, so that I can just focus on sales and distribution of the product, more of the marketing side of things. Kind of brings me to then March of this year. So February, went out to visit the guy, source of cacao. And this had already been the plan for a while, but end of March, left my job that I was at. It's in order to pursue this full time. And from there, we worked on packaging, we worked on starting production of videos for marketing, trying to get things straightened out with permits, importing, regulations, etc. So it's just been the last month and a half has been not necessarily a struggle, but a time to sort everything out and try to figure out, okay, I have all these processes I need to work on. How am I gonna how am I gonna tackle this, and what is my timeline for all of this? So I'm taking some pre-orders right now, have some extra revenue that way. We're aiming to have our first shipment come in from Ecuador in August of this year. So that's kind of like my deadline. I got to place my order probably by mid-June, early June. That's the hope. So that way I can have my product in August and start shipping that out to customers, as well as, meeting with some retailers right now. I have a couple meetings in the coming weeks, uh, just to pitch to them, see if this is something that would be viable for their business and a right product for their clientele. I believe it is, but of course I want to talk to them, address all of their concerns, and make sure it's something that ultimately is profitable for them and of value for their consumer. So that's where I'm kind of at right now. What's the plan? Well, plan is right, getting the shipment in August, and then from there we want to start ramping up online advertising to get that product out to the public. Still working on the ad strategy right now, how I want to come across with the messaging, who I want to specifically target. I have a few demographics in mind, but I really want to narrow that down, straighten it out, and have a certain audience in mind for this. Yeah, so I think it's me August. We're going to tackle the advertising, like I was saying, and then that's probably going to extend for the rest of the year, where I'm going to be trying a bunch of new things, right? I'm going to be trying ads. I'm going to be trying more creatives. I'm going to be trying offers for the product, see what resonates with the audience, and try to push out the product as much as I can. And of course, I would like to be able to, okay, see how demand is, and then kind of go back and over again, see, all right, we'll order supply again. Is this going to be smooth? Are there any issues we have to address in our supply chain? I think it's going to be a lot of experimenting this year between our marketing and addressing the capacities of our current supply chain, seeing where we need to improve, where we need to be investing, what new things we need to be testing, in order for next year that we can try to start scaling, scaling faster, and also trying to find more outlets to distribute our product. So this was more of like a shorter oversight of what I'm doing right now, just trying to document how things are going, what my plans are for the year, just kind of thinking out loud at this point, but also just want to document, in real time as well, how things are going, what I've been doing over the weeks, etc. So yeah.